Have you ever noticed that the moment you begin to change, something strange starts happening around you? People shift in their seats when you speak. Their smiles become tighter. Their jokes cut a little deeper. They pretend they're just concerned, but behind every word, there's discomfort. And the reason is simple. Your growth exposes what they've been avoiding in themselves. Your clarity makes their confusion louder. Your evolution shakes the ground they've been standing on for years. Maybe this is happening to you right now. You've started thinking differently, questioning what you once accepted, breaking patterns you once thought were normal. And instead of support, what you feel is distance. You feel the silence. You feel the judgment. But what no one tells you is that this discomfort is not a sign you're doing something wrong. It is the proof that your mind is no longer operating on the same level. A strong mind disrupts. A free mind disturbs. And a self-created mind threatens every person who is still trapped inside their own comfortable cage. This is the price of real transformation. Strength, true strength, is not the soft, gentle idea we are taught to admire. It is raw. It is uncomfortable. It is inconvenient. It makes people uneasy because it exposes the truth they run from. Most people don't actually want to grow. They want to stay safe, predictable, understood. But the moment you step outside that bubble, they feel they are losing you, or worse, that you are surpassing them. Real transformation begins when you stop expecting life to feel easy. When you stop waiting for permission. When you stop hiding the parts of you that the world cannot digest. Because the mind becomes unbreakable, not in chaos. Growth is carved in moments when everything collapses, when everything you believed falls apart, and you're forced to rebuild from the ashes. Look back at the moments when you changed the most. It wasn't during peace. It was during pain, when life cornered you so tightly that you had no choice but to rise. People run from chaos, but the ones who develop true inner power learn to walk straight into it. They stop begging for a smoother path and start sharpening themselves instead. They no longer ask, "Why is this happening to me?" but instead ask, "What is this trying to make me become?" That is the beginning of a different kind of strength, a strength that doesn't bend for approval, doesn't collapse under judgment, doesn't shrink to make others comfortable. But this strength comes with a brutal realization. Nothing outside you is responsible for your meaning or your direction. There is no pre-written purpose waiting to save you. There is no voice in the sky telling you what to do. There is only you, your mind, your choices, your will. And this truth terrifies people, because as long as they believe someone else is responsible for their suffering, they can escape responsibility. But when you take full ownership of your life, there is no one left to blame. Your failures are yours. Your progress is yours. Your evolution is yours. And that is the moment you stop being shaped by the world and start shaping yourself. This is where a new kind of human begins to emerge, the kind who rises beyond imitation, beyond obedience, beyond herd thinking. Someone who doesn't need to belong because they belong to themselves. Someone who doesn't chase approval because their values come from within. Someone who creates their own path even when everyone else is walking in the opposite direction. Becoming this person requires sacrifice. You will have to bury the version of you that depended on validation. You will have to abandon the comfort of the crowd. You will have to walk through phases of deep loneliness, where every voice around you tells you to go back to who you used to be. But if you endure this stage, something extraordinary happens. You begin to possess yourself. You begin to trust your thoughts more than the noise. You begin to feel the power of standing alone, not out of isolation, but out of maturity. And most people are not ready for this. They want independence until it demands solitude. They want strength until it requires losing people. They want freedom until they realize freedom comes with no guarantees and no security. When your mind becomes stronger, the world responds in predictable ways. Some will distance themselves. Some will resent you. Some will try to reduce you back to the version of yourself that made them comfortable. Not because you've done anything wrong, but because your evolution confronts everything they are avoiding. People don't resist change. They resist seeing what they could be if they stopped running from themselves. Collective mediocrity is powerful because it works through subtle pressure, not force. It tells you to blend in, to tone down, to soften your edges. It convinces you that ambition is arrogance, that thinking differently is rebellion, that wanting more is selfish. And before you know it, society rewards those who stay silent and punishes those who dare to stand out. But the truth is that your difference threatens the system. Your authenticity exposes its emptiness. Your clarity reveals its confusion. And now, if something in this resonated with you, then you already know you're not here by accident. You're here because something inside you has already begun to shift. You're here because you're tired of pretending. You're here because a part of you is waking up. So do something powerful. Write one truth you've been hiding. One thought you're afraid to admit. One piece of yourself you've been suppressing because it doesn't fit the mold. This is the moment you claim your voice. And when you're ready, continue this journey. Because if you've made it this far, you are not like the rest. You are ahead, and that is why it feels lonely. But remember this, loneliness is not your enemy. It is the birthplace of the person you are becoming.